on here as well.
And that was just his first live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome on into the PIEA Conference Finals. That's right, we get to take a grand look at everything we've seen, and what better way to end it off than the two teams that still remain? It's Penn, Manor, it's Reach Cyber, and this is Overwatch.
And this is the Colonial, this gosh darn Colonials. I feel so fancy here today, I'm wearing my suit and tie for the finals. But it is the Colonial playoffs, right? Specifically, because we're on the Allegheny channel, but you gotta specify the conference that we're in. Because if we're talking about those dang Colonials, it's the Colonial stream. I'm wrong. My apologies. So Colonial on Colonial all makes sense. For Colonial Overwatch, because I'm saying how many we need like a Colonial counter, because at this point I'll be colonialed.
I believe this is actually Dutch Overwatch on the Colonial
This is
stream.
Dutch Overwatch on Colonial. I've colonied myself at this point. Chaos ensues, but hopefully we'll have a little bit more peace on the server. I was told a little bit about these games. I think we're going to be going on Arctic Peninsula off the start, so I'm not so excited for the Overwatch shenanigans. Mainly because Arctic Peninsula it's either really one-sided or it's going to be a very big slog. Like it's a coin flip, right? It's not going to be like a 50-50. It's literally going to be a coin flip where it's either one-sided or arduous.
And I think that goes for the matchup as well, right? Especially with these matchups we see in the PIEA. I think this is going to be very similar, where we might see them go blow for blow, or it might just be a stomp. I'm hoping for like the first option. I'm hoping for close grand finals. Give us the content. Let's make some highlights out of it. But what's the result gonna be?
My money is on. Honestly, I kind of want Reach Cyber to win. Like, I feel like that'd be pretty hype. It'd be a little interesting, but a bit of change of pace here. Now, we do have a couple of interesting notes, right? Because if Penn Manor wins, they will be 8th seed for the non-elite team in states. Whereas if Cyber can get it, they'll be as high as 15th seed in the state champs. So, like, we're fighting for seeding here, folks. That is the key. Victory here gives you not only victory on the local level, but also on the expanded level, right? I feel the biggest jump is for Reach Cyber, so that's why I kind of give it to Reach Cyber. But that's just me.
Yeah, I was reading the chat there, and I didn't want to acknowledge it, but it did indeed happen. We're going to tech pause. So before we can get into too much of the action, yeah, I think top 8 go to LAN. I could be completely wrong on that state championship. Do not quote me on that. I will try and get that information as we jump to breaks here and there throughout the day. But yeah, I mean, states is such a big thing to be a part of here. And if you can manage to kind of blast your way there, that's kind of the ultimate goal, right? As much as you want to win today and you want to win every day, you got to have your sights set on the gold medal overall.
I'm just kind of looking to see. I was trying to remember, like, I'm looking at these comps. I'm trying to like really digest them post tech pause. I don't think there's anything too crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just looking at it. It seems very chill. Nightmare is on the Winston. Winston's very good here for dive. We have a diva on the other side as well. The person who DC'd, it's kind of important. If I'm not mistaken, they are one of the coaches or supporting staff. I'm not mistaken. I don't see them too much on the board. The reason I'm bringing all this up is because it looks like we have our roles kind of set for each one of these squads, and I'm thinking the compositions are pretty similar. I think that I'm not gonna make judgments. Because we're remaking the entire lobby, so they might see each other's comps. Like, it's very similar to the Apex situation we had against Fnatic and EMEA, where it's like you kind of see what the other team is already going for. So because of that, you can kind of change your own compositions, and I wonder if that's gonna happen. So I don't want to make a judgment call too early, to be fair.
Granted, you probably shouldn't, right? I feel like that's like metagaming and D&D, things like that. But yeah, looking into these games, I mean, you just hope that these teams show up and they play their best today. I've had the pleasure of watching both of these teams on my broadcast throughout the season. I don't know if you have as well, nerds, but Reach Cyber, they did kind of blow me away with how strong they were. And that just kind of gives me, I don't want to say hope that they can take this game away from Penn Manor, but I do think that gives us a better chance to see a closer series because I want to be honest, I'm a harsh realist. And if a team is not as good as we expect them to be, I'm going to say it. So Reach Cyber, I think they have the potential. The question is, will they show it to us today or will they let it slip and Penn Manor will take over?
Well, it seems like the lobby's being loaded into. Players are populated right now, so it's gonna be about like a minute or two before we get into the game yet again. But just talking about it, because we're remaking the entire lobby, it also might be a different point on Arctic Peninsula, so that can sway and change the way that the games are gonna be played. And I guess speaking of Arctic Peninsula, I personally am not the biggest fan of it. Obviously, the architecture around the map doesn't really favor a lot of teams, but it's also, not the worst map. It's not like Samoa or something like that. What are your thoughts on Arctic Peninsula, though?
Well, I kind of look at every map as a Zen map because I'm a Zen player. So
Oh,
not like
wow.
Zen is good at every map. I'm saying, okay, how good is a map for Zenyatta? Because
That's
that's my personal
crazy.
bias, and it's okay. It's not super great, but yeah, I think for these comps, they're gonna benefit a lot more from like high mobility, heavy space making, and that means you're probably not going to see a Zenyatta. So as much as I'm personally rooting for that, I have a feeling we're gonna see maybe the Lucio, the Juno, something of those sorts that can really get around the map, even Kiriko, because those teleports so good, especially with these perks active.
I mean, not even to mention the Suzus and all the stuff. But speaking of Suzus, we're gonna cleanse ourselves for a second. We're gonna send it to a short break. And while we come back, we're gonna be waiting for one of these teams to bring it back here. So stay tuned. And when we come back, we're gonna have the beginning of this grand finals.
My name is Samantha Bickle, and I am the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Esports Association. I've been involved in esports for a few years now. What drew me to this field has been the incredible sense of community, all of the skills that these players learn, all of the passion that they have, and just being part of the industry where you get to play video games. The PIEA got started about 4 or 5 years ago to provide a structured and competitive environment for students to play esports. We wanted to provide a clear pathway for competition as well as other opportunities and career readiness for students in the state of Pennsylvania. Seeing students at the in-person and live events has always been my favorite part about this job. Watching them come together, rock their jerseys, support their schools, and represent each other on a team, along with their passion and competitive nature. Esports provides a number of skills for students, from teamwork, communication, to problem solving. It also provides the opportunity for students who might not play in traditional sports or any other extracurriculars, and gives them a space where they can feel safe, play, and do the thing that they're most passionate about. I hope the PIEA helps esports become as respected and as accessible as any other traditional sport. We want schools to truly embrace the pathway through esports, through learning STEM, broadcasting, competitive play, or any of the various other opportunities that esports can provide. We hope that these real-world skills and opportunities help these high school students excel for many years to come.
Here at Mountain Esports, we take it to the next level. Our players have the ability to travel, compete, and even participate on the caffeine committee. Check out the Insta to see what's new with Mountain Esports today.
At the Mount, things are, well, elevated. And it's not just because we're on a mountain. The experience at a small college like Mount Aloysius is actually personal. The faculty and staff know my goals. It's a level of support you won't find at other colleges. And the Mount backs it up with career-focused partnerships and majors. As soon as I visited, it just felt like home. That's what makes this place different. Makes college elevated. Mount Aloysius College.
What I want to, see is how big is this rampage going to be. I want to be able to see them just W, say I don't care, and look for these picks. Look how big that was.
Huge too, because there's no Kiriko on the opposing side now.
Big opportunity for Downington's down. they're gonna lose their tank early on. As now Quixie pops ult, is gonna get hooked in by Heimdall, and just brutal hit as Boss is gonna get taken into the pig pen. From anyone there, it's gonna be the nano onto Wug. Wug needs a hero play. Wug is gonna find the pick onto 2. Now going up against Exodus. Gotta find the pick up onto Exodus.
You need to touch that point. Stop letting them get free percentage.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to get to it. Now Death's going to go over. Oh my goodness.
A 2-0 lead. McDowell, the team to strike. And with a start to their season like this, you've got to imagine that the continuing of this season is going to look just as good.
Look at this, how this stagnant checkmark style positioning is. Katana's gonna have this outlaw, land one shot, but then you still have another long flank. Katana lands 2.
Baga taken down, so is Kayuka. On the other end, Chris Tofu, he sees one, doesn't know the other information, but as Armageddon plays through, he doesn't get taken, but the information is there. Swing as well, on site, last alive, Goober can't find it.
It's gonna be a
My name is Samantha Bickle, and I am the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Esports Association. I've been involved in esports for a few years now. What drew me to this field has been the incredible sense of community, all of the skills that these players learn, all of the passion that they have, and just being part of the industry where you get to play video games. The PIEA got started about 4 or 5 years ago to provide a structured and competitive environment for students to play esports. We wanted to provide a clear pathway for competition as well as other opportunities and career readiness for students in the state of Pennsylvania. Seeing students at the in-person and live events has always been my favorite part about this job. Watching them come together, rock their jerseys, support their schools, and represent each other on a team, along with their passion and competitive nature. Esports provides a number of skills for students, from teamwork, communication, to problem solving. It also provides the opportunity for students who might not play in traditional sports or any other extracurriculars, and gives them a space where they can feel safe, play, and do the thing that they're most passionate about. I hope the PIEA helps esports become as respected and as accessible as any other traditional sport. We want schools to truly embrace the pathway through esports, through learning STEM, broadcasting, competitive play, or any of the various other opportunities that esports can provide. We hope that these real-world skills and opportunities help these high school students excel for many years to come.
Here at Manor Esports, we take it to the next level. Our players have the ability to travel, compete, and even participate on the caffeine committee. Check out the Insta to see what's new with Manor Esports today.
At the Mount, things are, well, elevated. And it's not just because we're on a mountain. The experience at a small college like Mount Aloysius is actually personal. The faculty and staff know my goals. It's a level of support you won't find at other colleges. And the Mount backs it up with career-focused partnerships and majors. As soon as I visited, it just felt like home. That's what makes this place different. Makes college elevated. Mount Aloysius College.
What I want to, see is how is this Rampage going to be? I want to be able to see them just W, say I don't care, and look for these picks. Look how big that was.
Huge too, because there's no Kiriko on the opposing side now.
Big opportunity for Downington's down. They're gonna lose their tank early on. As now Quixie pops ult. He's gonna get hooked in by Heimdall. And just brutal hit as Boss is gonna get taken into the pig pen. From anyone there, it's gonna be the Nano onto Wug. Wug needs a hero play. Wug is gonna find the pick onto 2. Now going up against Exodus. Gotta find the pick up onto Exodus.
You need to touch that point. Stop letting them get free percentage.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to get to it. Now Death's going to go over. Oh my goodness.
A 2-0 lead. McDowell, the team to strike. And with a start to their season like this, you've got to imagine that the continuing of this season is going to look just as good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on in back to the PIEA. Finally, we get to start up the game for you all and the championship. It's Penn Manor, it's Recyber, and already we've got the comps here on Arctic Peninsula.
They're just boogieing. They're having a fun time. I'm watching this. Yeah. I'm watching this little powwow session from Reach Cyber, and they're having a grand old time. So for the context, someone unplug their monitor, which is vital to the gameplay. You need to have that up on there.
No.
I know, right? The reason I say that's really funny is because not only is there a hole in the monitor up on our screen where Winton is just dancing around, but also like there's always a meme like turn the monitors on, turn the monitor, where are you shooting at? And then this point, yeah, you really need to have that happen.
So I guess we can blame them if they maybe don't look as good as normal. We'll say, hey, you can just turn on the monitor again. Maybe they can have the cord out one more.
Yeah, sure.
I'm totally down for that.
First engagement's going to be started off, though. Nothing too crazy just happening. Off on the point, though. Baptiste popping lamp. Pressure building, but Penn Manor going to live up to their reputation, and they just shoot back stronger here. Penn Manor with a clear up close and personal on the engagement in the 1v1 on the DPS duels. It does not stand. And speaking of stand, we stand on business here because you just go chase down that lonely old Winton. Why are we bullying the big old Winton, huh?
Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they went and they took a low ground immediately, and although that's nice, sometimes maybe you want to cap the points, you're running dive against dive. And especially with a Reaper, you need that high ground so you can surprise jump on somebody if you absolutely want to. And Reach Cyber, it just felt like they never truly had the engagement going.
But now they have to recontest into this area. Shot's gonna get fired up through, but yet again, it's Penn Manor who's just gonna be bursting on in. Look at the amount of damage they're gonna be dealing. Show gonna get some extras on the board. Talking about high ground, Show really putting that Sojourn to good use. Now the cap's gonna come through. They do pressure off the point, but the kills, they have been staggering in favor of Penn Manor regardless, right? Reach Cyber, they managed to take that for just 10%. Before Penn Manor was like, yeah, we're just gonna get the kills first and then secure this point for the long-term haul.
Yeah, I'd call that a lucky flip, if anything. I mean, they really just, again, went for that low ground positioning. They're trying to get some sort of forcement out of the cooldowns, but it just doesn't work out. And Penn Manor, they're gonna have one more engagement now where they are on the advantage. Surely they can utilize something like this Reaper to get themselves more kills, but it's just not happening yet.
Now, D-Mech, though, out of position. Soger pushing in. They have the mech back up into it. I was really confused why they decided to go for that early pop, but it's only going to find one. Fight continues onto the point. Show him going to be pushed back yet again. Pressure mounting. We see the blades. It's a patented cube battle. Bigger. Oh, my God. Big Jiffer is just straight up spreading peanut butter all over them right now.
Yeah, you said Q battle, and as much as we want to say that there were so many ults used by Reach Cyber, they actually still have 3 left because they haven't farmed it up. So they will have at least one final fight here. That's why Penn Manor are going to poke in a little bit early. Can you get out? No, Big Jiffer goes down, and here's the main fight now.
the thing that was fascinating to me is that it looked like a start of a Q battle, but it just didn't push through. And I feel like if Penn Manor went for some of those, like potentially going for a window here, I mean, they have the potential. No, I mean, wow, what do we even do here? We do see the window comboed with a slap, but slaps are gonna get only a couple of ticks onto the point here, and even then it's gonna be consistently contested. This bubble dance needs to stand, can't sustain, and in this overtime game, yeah, they are getting onto the point, but they are not gonna be able to keep it alive. Reach Cyber is losing the point here, and that's the first going to Penn Manor. And all I gotta say is, we do see a lot of good sustain out of Winton there, but when you're solo on point without an extra ultimate in hand or without some other like push, it feels like a Hail Mary.
Yeah, it definitely felt like in that final fight they were just going for the touch, which I don't necessarily blame them for. Maybe they're just panicking, they're not exactly able to have a full contest, a proper team fight, but Reach Cyber as well, I've seen them be a little bit more favorable towards that Junker Queen brawl. They really like to go for like that scrappy playstyle where you can just run at everybody. And here they're not exactly able to do that, especially with that Winston. You're having to go for these engages and nobody's really with you. Nobody's scaling alongside you. So Reach Cyber, there's got to be a way that they can implement that into their next few attacks here. Of course, I think this next point should be a bit better for them considering this is a more brawl favorable map here. I think this is a bit more doable, but I want to see them as well just get a solid team fight off, take the time and say, hey, we want to take this fight now, as opposed to just receiving 5 ultimates in your face.
The only thing in my mind here, Ari, is that they're going to need to bring out the Skippy. Not only in terms of their step, but also just because you have Jiffer on the other end, who's doing such a good job in terms of just being a nuisance and in the 1v1s on all those situations. Now, we did see a lot of 1v1s for Shohem on the Sojourn, but I did want to highlight specifically Jiffer because of their not only ultimate utilization, but also the amount of pressure they can provide on this Genji. First point going to be slowly walked up on by Reach Cyber, but the engagements haven't been started just yet. Jiffer again now going to be tested in that 1v1. They have to fall back, going to play with the rest of the roster, and only pieces of utility being denied, and there it is, the crumble of the cookie. The pressure comes on through, and it is a combo here. You even see both the DPS line going to be bullying their counterparts, and it's just unlucky.
This D.Va is just such a big counter to Winston, especially because, yeah, you can get some free damage off, I guess, with the beam, but nobody else on your team can do anything else. I think we should be seeing a swap here from Reach Cyber, and maybe, you know, with the addition of these perks, they're feeling less inclined to do so. Could be a reason they end up dropping this first map.
Nah, man, you gotta be aggressive here, especially with the perks. If you can find some good perks to really line up with your end goals, it makes sense here. I do also agree, Nightmare on this Winton has not been providing as much value. Like, look, we see the dive on in. They're going to be bullying onto Jiffer. There is a little bit of support here, but the kills are just not going in your favor. In the 1v1, we see the Skippy come on through for Devout. Going to try and TP out. Does not get much value, though. Needs to sustain and alive. You do have that overhealth out of Lucio, but it's not going to last a long enough time for you to live. And even though they do push in, they do find one onto our lonely Jiffer. It doesn't matter. Big Jiffer's still up and at him. They're gonna have the blade, and Devout only gets one. They can't continue that role, you know?
Yeah, a big piece of this Reach Cyber comp is the fact of when you're taking the engage, you need to go for that target prioritization. And you see Devout there in that final fight, we kind of saw them kind of scrambling around and just shooting between targets. They're not focusing all of their damage into one player, and that's going to mean nobody is going down ever. And we know the sustain battle will always go better for Penn Manor because they have that defense matrix, because of the support ults that are available online, and because they kicked the monitor out of their PC again.
I was about to say, is that what happened? Or are we going to cams? Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Is that actually what happened in the middle of that fight? There's no way.
Surely not, right?
I thought they were, I unironically thought they had stalled there for a second to like group together, because I was like, oh my, it tech paused. But then I saw more people moving, so I was like, maybe not.
Yep.
Man,
A moment of silence.
Okay, cool. We just had to rest in peace, monitor cords out there. Updates. We've got none for you folks. So I think what we're gonna do is just toss it to a break, and when we come back, something will happen We'll find out then. See you there, folks.
Look at this, how this stagnant checkmark style positioning is. Katana's gonna have this outlaw, land one shot, but then you still have another long flank. Katana lands two.
Baguette taken down, so is Kayuka. On the other end, Chris Hopeless, he sees one, doesn't know the other information, but as Armageddon plays through, he doesn't get taken, but the information is there. Swing as well, on site, last alive, Goober can't find it. It's gonna be a free site now. Original.
Yeah, that was a lot of information. Makeda, oh my goodness, ammo getting popped in window. Say, how you doing? Trying to find one extra, and there's 1v1 all the way down to nothing.
Can't find the shot there, taken down from Prejix. And Pacey is looking for that lurk in that elbow area, but Prejix pushing through. Can he find the last bullet? Yes, he can.
They've cornered everybody into long, and now they can isolate these fights. Nikto finds one with the operator, immediately sparks the dash. And I'm surprised more space wasn't taken here in sand, but at this point, it's hardly needed. Meatball, the last remaining, diced up with the operator. Go air dribble into the flip reset. Musty flick is just a miss. However, Resmi targeting the net. Off the crossbar, chance for Cold as ice to clean up. Yeah, it does seem like the more time Mohawk gets, the better that rotation on attack starts to look. DT Cart rounding the bend on the corner with a nice chip over the Archer for their second.
The charge, Mr. B comes across, but hang on a second. Karma out of nowhere manages to pick that one up. An excellent cross there from JJL Mask. You might have thought that was supposed to be a shot on goal, but Karma, right place, right time. The 1v3 from the left side of the field somehow manages to get it in all by himself.
Praise Arnold, successful. It's not just a steal, it's a snipe, and it's robbery in front of the eyes of the team. Praise Arnold gets an absolutely ridiculous thievery. Yeah, so my name is your boy Q. I am a stay-at-home parent, full-time content creator, esports host, caster, part-time. For me, video games is just a nice breakaway from reality. I dealt with a lot of bullying, a lot of picking and teasing at school. I lost all of my hair at the age of 5 due to a autoimmune disease called alopecia. Gaming was just a nice little break away from all that.
Mix it up with the headshot as well to be able to get the second half here.
Officially casting video games, I would say we're coming up right around the 4-year mark. Before that, I used to do a lot of watch parties and stuff back in the good old Mixer/Paladins days, where we had watched the Paladins Pro League, which is where I kind of got my hunger for wanting to do more than just watch esports. I think the best advice I can give is definitely like try to approach it more on like a sort of a part-time basis. And then I think the other thing is like building your brand along with being a caster, be able to show an ability to work multiple games, multiple roles, whether it be in like more of an interviewer versus a caster or an analyst and stuff like that. That way you can like truly bring more value to whoever it is that wants to sign you on, you know, long term or for that first like big project. Anything that's worth being good at is worth being bad at first. There are going to be casts that suck, whether you think that they suck or not, just because you've got to learn along the way. You've got to find a way to take those L's and turning them into learning experiences. Really is a dream job when you talk about the people at the tippy top who get to, you know, travel the world for esports, like the highest of levels. So to have the job that everybody wants, you're going to have to do stuff that nobody wants to do.
Monkeys in the back line and finding their way through without any kind of problem. No regard for the life of Albert Gallatin. Monkey is just doing a bit too much. Almost. Oh! No, almost. Would you let me go? No, you never come back. I'ma be the best that you never had. I'ma kick back when you fake like that. I'm a header at the game. I don't play. Answer was not Barry, but a great sleep. That might set up Hunter to turn the damage back around. Here it comes. The up down. Dumped him. Got 3. I'ma be the best that you never doesn't send the soldier flying.
Well, they say third time's the charm, and I really do hope that this is true because I would like to continue and see the winner of this map, considering it may just be over right now.
I mean, yeah. Like, look at immediately we start. Spam, shot. He's Jiffy's spreading peanut butter. Wow, Penn Manor won. What a concept.
Well, if you missed the first map, it can be summarized by this play of the game right here. Because that's kind of what we saw just on rinse and repeat over and over. And yeah, it was just the clean shots from Schumann. I mean, yeah, this is not even, there's nothing super crazy in that play either. It's just basic fundamentals that I think were kind of taken down in raw game plan.
Guess what we're gonna do now?
Not take.
We're gonna go to a break, and then we're gonna go to another break to set up the other lobby. Welcome to Break Central. We are here with your break of the day. Oh my God! Goofiness aside, Penn Manor take the first of the #1 seed. It makes sense, but they just dominated Cyber. Reach Cyber's gonna need to change something. They're gonna need to actually go for a different like thought process here. Championship Saturday continues as we're gonna literally go to another break, set up the next map, and like what are we gonna? That was a wash. We had two monitor blowouts, man. What analysis is there?
The analysis is that they need to plug the cord into the hole of the PC.
So here's a little visual example. This might not be a cord, but like there's things in this world that they like fit together, right? They fit together really well, right? So like fun fact, if you take this and you just go like, and then we just maybe plug it back in, and usually things start to work after that. But like I'm joking, like I'm saying, we're just trying to provide some content because we're going to a break, and when we come back, we're gonna have game 2 of this best first to 5. We'll see how it goes because right now Penn Manor's started up. We'll see you guys in hopefully like less than a minute or two, but we need to check the monitors first. Check the monitors. See y'all soon.
Situation, but is Reinhardt ever gone? Who's got with who? The slam down, the flame strike, and then the double. Make it a triple.
The transcendence to try to get them out of spawn, and they're not even out of the choke yet. Oh, an unfortunate ultimate countered by Hero. Wow. He comes back from the disconnect to disconnect 4 players from life. Beautiful play. Gets stopped heavy. They're nanoed. The Ryan trying to push through. You've got just that bit to go. Down they go. And Hunter pulls through once again.
They got the remake KO on Savage. You can't ask for more than that. They're trying to take him down, but it's just too much.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that. I'ma head out at the game. I don't play that back. Would you let me go? No, you never come back. I'ma be the best that you never had. I'ma kick back when you fake like that. I'ma head out at the game. I don't play that back. Would you let me go? No, you never come back.
Going to allow the B site to be opened up. Double smoke coming through to block off some of those entryways. Robotics gets the salvo one, but Beast shuts down the Beast of Skim. Double on the flank. Robotics gets one back, but it's a 3K for another, and it's just this tough crossfire to deal with, but it's the decay.
You have that shorty in hand, you're able to do some work, but of course a quick plant or attempt as Ziggy pops out and wipes out two so quickly, make it a third as well. Clean as a whistle on those shots. And now you get to follow through with another all headshot.
Able to get one with it, and Cosmic barely escapes, but there's Kukulika getting another one, swinging and hitting, gets 2, God. And now the all-in-one ultimate, it's the final, and it's done.
Could be difficult to pressure onto the site. Omen up top, but we'll step into the crosshair, but it's Monkey with a 4K as well, and now a potential ace as Monkey Zazu hits the ace.
Drawing information, baiting them once again, twice actually. Fracken finds Main though, and that's huge. You get halfway, but Mesa with the one tap. And you need one more TP, as that's a blind and an easy work.
No way. No
this
way.
Is so free.
No way.
So free and a half. Get that knife. Mesa with the...
We've had some close games, we've had some high scoring games, but this one's still scoreless here. Not for long. Blake from coast to coast will find the first one.
And I have a little bit of history here with Westmont as well, as I did cast them last week over on the Independence channel as well. But that team is a team you have to look out for, and that's the exact reason why passing plays to the backboard. Bezoman able to finish that one off, getting their first goal of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Big B been one of those best in the business for a while. Bunch of the hunch though, picks the pocket off the sidewall, carries that thing into the back of the net. Again, 2 players up. I think a little bit of miscommunication between Forest Hill.
And off the backboard, can they finish? Not quite there. One more touch. Albert Gallatin sends it home.
No way!
Race to the goal! Albert Gallatin will strike with 1 second left.
Coming up huge for Greensburg in overtime is looking more than likely.
More than likely, Greensburg has had but the caster curse is another man's blessing. Penn Trafford, after regulation from Johnny to brilliant, is absolutely that chef's kiss. Brilliant. So I am Hot Sauce. I am a caster here at TEC and many other places as well. I've been gaming since I was probably 4 or 5 years old. It was a great way for me to meet other like-minded people and friends in that gaming world as well. I've been casting for about 5.5 to 6 years now. So I was casting over a Counter-Strike game and an org happened to see me and they invited me on to cast with them. It's been an interesting journey. Certainly not an easy one, but a very fun one. With a molly in hand, Dyrod with a jumping shot finds 3. My, oh my! So I've been lucky enough to cast some like bigger things like RLCS and TwitchCon, but I think one of my favorite things about casting the high school series is when you go to these LAN events just to see how much the kids and everybody appreciates what we do, I think has really been a game changer for me because I have kids as well. So it's great to see that so many young students now have an additional opportunity to better themselves along the way and even look for other opportunities, whether it be college scholarships or, you know, behind or on and off the scenes. If I had to give some advice, it would be don't be afraid to ask questions. You're not always going to get the answer that you want. I got some advice that I maybe didn't think was good, so I didn't use it, but you have to have an open mind. If it's something that you're passionate about and you truly love doing, you know, surround yourself with like-minded people who enjoy the same things, look to grow and get better together. There's going to be things along the way that are tough to deal with, that knock you down, that might be discouraging, but specifically here at TEC, I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of the coaches and teachers. They genuinely care about each and every one of their students. So they have a really good support system out there. You know, make sure you use it.
It's a very comfortable blanket. Well, welcome back. All right, wake up. All right, wake up. Yeah, wake up. We're back. The tech issues were fixed, folks. We're back with game 2 of this first to 3. I have a big blanket on the floor. We're getting into it. We're done. We're clear. We're good. Get the fog out of our brains because we're getting into these games.
That was a fire bar. I have to give that one to you. Oh. Yeah, and you...
I hit part of my window.
Either way, whether you're hitting your window with your blanket or you're hitting the other enemy team with your bullets, let's get into the action, right?
It's Midtown, baby! It's Midtown!
Yeah, I mean, Reach Cyber, they came into that first map. We don't even know which team had the tech issues. Let's say that it was Reach Cyber, so that we can give them the benefit of the doubt and hope that they will come back here in the second map to make this a close series. But Penn Manor, either way, still looked very dominant throughout our first game.
Oh yeah, 100%. And jokes aside from all the shenanigans, I think Penn Manor have a lot in terms of like just the synergy within their players, right? If Jiffer isn't shooting, you have Showman who's really going for the backline support, right? In other FPS, you have like the first dive in, whereas like the first entry versus the second entry, and they really have that synergy all together. Alongside Brigitte on the front lines here is going to be very good for their combination. On the flip side, for Reach Cypher, just to give an overview, it's a very similar setup. Maybe it's just comfort picks, and on a map, now that they got to pick a better map, it makes a lot more sense for Reach Cyber because they go for comfort picks on a map where this meta kind of works out a bit more. But it is concerning that they aren't really like fluctuating. They're not really as flexible. That rigidity could be a cause for concern later down the line.
Yeah, you have to kind of look at picks like the Tor, well, quite valuable and can kind of be like the jack of all trades, right? That maybe means that it's the master of none. So curious to see how that plays out.
Immediately, we're going to have a jump dive through in. Shots are going to come through. Some damage ticked out. Really good CC coming out of Penn Manor. They break the lamp just so they can break on through. Dash from Agua coming out. Just going to be toppling. Why are we baffling the Winston corpse? Winston's corpse just went flying. Nobody was there, but Agua still ran through it.
Yeah, I mean, that corpse went flying just like the monitor cables earlier. I mean, it really was. Just... in and then gone.
Yeah. And now what do you do here to recover?
Well, I think, well, the swap is a start, right? You have Nightmare now over to the Zarya, but again, you're going for this brawl sort of play style, but you need to take the engagements in a manner, no pun intended, that you know, that actually takes down the Maga and outlives the Maga, and that's just not gonna happen.
Deadeye gonna get popped down in close corridors, finds value, but it's not gonna be for Reach Cyber. Immediately here, show them how it's done. Shunin is shooting them. They even, oh my god, this is beyond, in my opinion, devastating, because when you have a player just pop off like that, your close quarters brawling and just pop Deadeye, immediately find it too. They even have a pea spray for Penn Manor, like.
Yeah, this game, like, we kind of reflect the energy that's going on in the game, right, as a caster, and right now it feels like we're not really in that nerve-wracking sense, because they have plays like Devout where they're getting caught off guard like that.
Oh man, and now the cage fight's available. They did pop the window, but it doesn't even matter. I do like the swap to Zarya just to kind of get a bit analytical, because it allows them to get out in situations, but the problem is that they're really not putting themselves in favorable fights to begin with. Like in that fight, for example, you bubble yourself, you try to go for a push in, it doesn't seem to work out for you, but then when it comes down like to the very like raw end of the spectrum, they're just not giving themselves positions to succeed.
I love the tracking, by the way, by Sugar. Like, they're actually doing so well on this Maga. Like, you expect, like, okay, yeah, broken character, easy, you just win, but they've really been putting in the work here, and maybe there's an opportunity here. Shunim goes down a bit early.
Oh, man. Hopefully they can get into a better position. I mean, they are doing this. Okay. And then you're just caught off guard. Like, immaculate timing on the cage fight. We do have an orbital ray coming through. Big old Q battle. The barrage is there as well. And there it is. You're spreading it on through. Jiffer is ready for it. Devout finding a pick onto the backline is huge in terms of their sustainability being denied, but there needs a lot more pressure to be out here. And you still have Show him with this ultimate locked in, clocked in, the double found in a Q battle. You got to remember, the last person to press that faded button is going to be the one that wins, and the faded button seems to give you frags.
Yeah, especially when it's the Deadeye, which typically we don't see get too much value, but in that scenario, when you're coming back from spawn, people don't exactly have a shield up or full supports or full structure in terms of positioning. Yeah, just taking down and shoot them once more, taking down Super Monkey, getting into their heads by just enforcing their will onto the opponents.
Enforce my will, enforce my pressure. But honestly, I mean, they are doing a pretty okay job of like getting onto here, and an OT they need to, but it feels again like a Hail Mary. And the Zarya, I did want to discuss it like as a really good pick, because it's so good at soaking up all that Mauga damage and then outputting it back. But it seems like their timings have also just been really faulty in terms of the micro of each individual player for Reach Cyber. Because before we even talk about the positioning, the play styles, it seems like the micro decisions of utility timings have really been difficult for Reach Cyber to coordinate.
I'm just looking to see Reach Cyber here that pulls something out. Like, we see them kind of just slamming their heads into a wall again and again, and it's obviously not what they want to do and not the result we want to see from them, because we know they can do better. It's just they haven't quite found the right pieces to the puzzle yet, and how long is it really going to take until you do? Because you only have so much time. I mean, here, you're hoping for just a draw. Otherwise, you're going to have to reverse sweep in this first to 3 series.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, and again, right, there's not that much flexibility within this attacking line of Reach Cyber. The tank flexibility roll swap is nice, but I'm thinking about like Optimal being on that Torbjorn. We have not seen an insane amount of value out of Torb, just fully blunt. Like, I've seen more value out of Devout, which is great, right? Devout is getting certain frags and getting into better positions. They are trying to play as that individual out player, but it just does not seem to be as cohesive as something like Penn Manor.
Yeah, I mean, Optimal at least will have a bit better of a showing here on the defense, you have to assume, because the turret you can always put up in random places, and especially as those perks get active, you can put them in even more off walls, upgrade it if you want. And Reach Cyber, if they are going to show us that they are here to stay in this series and that they want to go to the distance, potentially to that map 5, they're going to need a nice showing here and some plays that make us believe what they're capable of.
Immediate push though, like immediately we push in here out of Penn Manor. There's no high ground control from Reach Cyber. There's nothing. It's just a true walk up. Devout is going to find one from the back line. That's huge. But speaking of hero pool and hero selection, May going to be swapped out for Farah, and it's huge off of them to give themselves a couple of inches of room here. Talking about high ground yet again, it's going to be immediately capitalized, right? You don't want to get caught out of position. Really split the hairs and the differences of the DPS sidelines. We also don't even see like a hit scan coming out for Reach Cyber, so you have projectiles for most of these players, and the timing's just been working way better for Penn Manor. Because look at this, it's almost like they're playing with their food, right? But Penn Manor, what they're doing is they really need to get these first picks before they go on to the point.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give prompts to Reach Cyber here. They have played their positioning quite well here. They understand the assignment of let's not give up a tick, otherwise we lose the map. And they've actually not even been punished yet. So this is a really nice showing from them, proving that they, yes, have what it takes to hold on. They understand what they need to do. Now it's just about doing it.
The thing that's really concerning me is that you have Blizzard as well as a bunch of other ultimates. Barrage is going to be used as Blossom out towards the field alongside Blizzard, though. It just works in favor of Penn Manor. The Blizzard going to deny a lot of players displacement, and now Reach Cyber going to contain this push. I mean, they contain it. They do a really good job. They've held out here.
But there are the staggers coming through, which means the respawns are going to be better for Penn Manor, and especially as you take down Nightmare, that's not good. You take down the Nano Lucio. Uh-oh, this could be the map.
No way. Immediately, the tempo swings back into your favor. You have yourself the patented. Oh, the blade is there, man. The blade is there. It's a final Hail Mary. Gets popped. Doesn't really matter. And the reason I was talking about that blade is because realistically, you have Baptiste running in. They can keep themselves alive with immortality, but unfortunately, that piece of utility is immediately broken, and so is the morale here. Reach Cyber really needs to dig deep now.
Yeah, this was beautiful, Deadeye. We've seen Shoot'em have beautiful ult usage. I believe that was the Sojourn as well on map 1, and once again, yeah, just pulling their weight. I mean, as much as it is a team game, you like to see people step up here and there, and when they do put in that star power performance, you'll certainly take it as they drag you across the finish line.
And again, it's just coming down to the micro decision making of players as well as the coordination that it comes through. Because when you talk about map macro, that's secondary to individual performances. And the reason I highlight individual performances is because you think about something like stagger plays out, they're staggering out onto the site. Malgua's just rushing in, and you'd think that's a bad play. But the individual micro of that player, he's going in because he knows that the enemy is also staggered. Knights is not going to have support. He took down Knights. If you remember on Midtown, I'm going to paint you this beautiful visualized picture. He just goes, raw! I'm going to charge on in as Malgua. Knights has no heals, no support, no nothing, no DPS, nada. And you know what that means? You have no cigar, nothing for you to win. Penn Manor just claps you, and now we're here in this position. And all that mental collapsing upon players while being layered with the fact that this is championship and championship point for Penn Manor, all layered on top of each other for seeding at state, means you now really need to lock in the monitor cords, the PCs, and the players. So with that, my crash out's over. We're going to take a break. Drink your water, folks, and we'll see you guys for what could be potentially the last game of this Overwatch series.
Oh, trying to stall for his team to break it, and they do! PD played that so smart! Waiting for his team. I mean, just the coordination so clean, and that's going to be a three-piece.
Wow, what a three-piece there from PD. You mentioned the teamwork to make the dream work.
Cyber will fall to 2-1, but it was a hard-fought battle. They need to hold their heads high here because they did a great job against Penn Manor, battling back with the play of the game, and most likely your MVP of the whole day. Shoot him right here. Once more, finding the two-piece off the back of the ult, hunting down a third.
It's they can't kill the subs. They lose a fight. They have to reset. They manage to get back in. Slenderman makes a massive play, finds 3 off of railgun shots, and again, just cannot finish the Ramatra.
Unsurprisingly, and just with another play of the game, someone that we've just seen doing such a great job on the front, and yeah, I'll feel understandable.
An understandable final ultimate here, and an understandable team kill.
They were already going to win it with the other ults. It would be a really nice one to have in the back pocket to secure an ultimate. Speaking of ultimates, VR Master up high, going to drop that barrage and make sure that fight ends quickly. Finds 4, maybe a 5th. It does get deflected for the moment, but it is going to be 5.
Stealth drone, they get caught out on the paranoia. A quick poke, Meow gets rid of Yoshi, but Clauser is the most dangerous person on this team. They're actually in a place of advantage if they can be able to get the spin. Yes!
Going to try to attack, or do you just the backside a swap and a pivot there, and Grace will get 1 bullet to the skull. No! And that could mean that the defuse is imminent. Smoke comes up once more. Grace managed to get 1.
That'll help as holds off on rushing in, has information, has magical low, has a teammate as well, but no longer has a life impair. This is a massive round. 4% clear, but
They're holding these close angles. Dane could be good for a couple, and he most certainly is. Enough for North to deal damage. The 1v1. Not swinging the angle there is Mr. Sasquatch on the other end. Get away. Paddle eliminated as well. And 4 from North.
Gonna be able to take down Paddle. Toss back and forth. Tazu on for an ace. What a start from the Jets. And all they need is Dane that is coming on from spawn. A lot of steps are made. First kill found. And it is gonna be an ace.
We are back.
Who's back? It's
us. We're back. We're back.
And,
honestly,
what do you think?
Honestly, I'm loving that we're seeing some flexibility out of Devout. I'm loving that we're seeing some changes. Why is Devout losing HP? Okay, fair enough.
On our explanation.
Fair enough. My bad. Didn't know your game.
Got mine.
What is Penn Manor cooking? Look at this, bruh. Look at this.
I feel like
anyway.
Reasonable, no?
No. Just what I'm saying is like they're so comfortable with their hero pool that it's just like they can do whatever they want and it works.
I mean, I don't want to say this is like meta, but like this is a pretty solid comp. Like, I feel like we shouldn't be surprised that they're necessarily running this. I'm worried for Reach Cyber because I'm seeing the Widow, I'm seeing the Torb, and yeah, that's gonna be an instant swap. I mean, I knew they were just going for cheeky picks, but that would take some extra.
This walk-up isn't even that like potent because you still have the mainline choke here and they're playing around cover. So the whole point of it is that they're just going off cover. Sigma is just literally dancing between these two different picks. And if you're talking about the long-range engagements, Ashe, so powerful here to be dynamic up close and personal as well as the hip fire. So you have a lot more value than something like the Widowmaker. Really good combinations here. Penn Manor is already close to having that Bob to do something. They have really good counterplay and picks. This Bend, though, is being walked up on really well by Reach Cyber. The problem is that this stagger later down the line is just going to come back to bite them. Sure, they get it, up to about a third of the way, but You still have 2/3 to go.
Yeah, I think if Penn Manor can just hold them in this nice long choke, they're gonna have the advantage. I mean, obviously with that double hit scan, essentially with the rail gun from the soldier, and you're gonna be able to do a lot of work, and you're also allowed to use that dynamite and that spatial damaging ability from the soldier to really just keep people from away from the payload. However, that's a jump scare.
Ooh, there we go. We're starting to see Devout get active here on the jump down, but Bob gonna do something, be that secondary little tank out there. Personally, it's gonna land here. We do see Devout getting caught out of position. It's really unlucky, but the transition into the rest of the roster is just gonna be as difficult, rough, arduous, whatever you want to call it. They're even sending utility into spawn to try and get these elims so they could stagger the timings even more.
Reese Cyber, what have you got in store for us? I mean, I feel like we're gonna see a Q battle, but at the same time, I feel like they shouldn't go for it. Like Penn Manor, you want to just bait out as many ultimates as you can from them there, and then just use all of yours in the next fight so that you have the advantage. You can at least cap the first one.
Why? What is that turret? That's like... They're really playing Plants vs Zombies with that turret right there, because it's guarding that bush like crazy. Shots up in the air. Oh, we see something huge coming out of Reach Cyber. Ultimate gonna be engaged, immediately countered upon. They get past the bend. The window's gonna be helping them on top of it. It's huge out of Reach Cyber. Sure, Plants vs Zombie might be one game, but here in Overwatch, the tides can turn. Shuhem saying, hey, if you can have a pop-off moment, so can I. No ultimates needed, just raw firepower.
So do we like say Shunem, you need to like go to OWCS right now, because like this is, I would say, MVP performance. Like I don't want to call it yet.
Like
but,
what kind of computers are they running? Maybe they swap the computers. Has nothing to do with the computers, I think, at this point, right? Like, to be fully blunt, like that placement of the turret plus the positioning of this Ashe have just been so immaculate on a micro level of each individual's. Like, look, you're playing high ground, really peppering up these players. There's nothing to counter here. Yeah, you do see a trade in Optimal picking it up, but regardless, you have the post-mortem effect of the dynamite out in the corner, and we have 30 seconds on the board. They've gotten a little past halfway. We need, within 30 seconds, an insane performance out of Reach Cyber.
And they used 4 ults too. I didn't even see 2 of them be used. Like, we saw the Blossom get its value. We saw the Ramattra kind of just get shredded as soon as they went out of that I guess, market area. But then, what do you have left? It's just the Torbjorn Molten Core, and there's only so much you're gonna be able to do, especially with this Bob here. Best of luck.
I mean, you do even see Devout going for that high ground play, but it doesn't work. Breaks the lamp first before sending Bob out fully. And now look at the devastation out on the field. In overtime, you're just going to rock the line. Molten Core does get invested here, but they're just going to be dancing around. The floor isn't lava because the floor isn't fully covered. Up into the air you go. Topsy-turvy. Goodbye to you, Ramattra, who needs... I forgot what they're... Why did I forget what they're called? Right in the middle of my commentary. Who needs robots when we have anti-gravity, I guess?
Fair enough. I mean, I feel like...
Omnix! Oh my god. It's like having... It's like... You know when you forget something and then you forget something on a test, you wake up at 2 in the morning, it's like, oh, I remember it now. That was me with Omnix.
Mitochondria! Ah, yes!
Not the mitochondria. But how do you come back from this? Reach Cyber, you need to be like insane holds. Torb is going to be a lot stronger on this side, but
hear me out. Let me cook up a comp. Comp. It's maybe not going to be meta, but I think it's what's going to give Reach Cyber the best chance of working the system and what they have available.
Yeah, I love... keep telling me about this comp. Like, look, we have Ball, Drill,
Venture,
Ghost, trees, and like some awesome beats, bro. Like some amazing music here for Penn Manor.
Okay, for Reach Cyber, I want to see the Bastion. I really do. I wanted to see them just use Bastion here, and like characters that can just play solo and output a crap ton of damage. So like a hog pick even for Reach Cyber, I wouldn't hate completely.
I don't know if Penn Manor is really sticking with this comp, but regardless, Venture would be really funny if they stayed up on the board. I feel like Venture would be very good in terms of backstab potential.
I'm just ready to see the Widow swap. No, the Brig? Okay, they're just playing Mystery Heroes right now.
I love Mystery Heroes though. Like low-key, that's one of my favorite game modes. Really good to diversify your hero pool when it comes to it, especially if you like try and be like semi-competitive in Mystery Heroes. But yeah, I mean, talking about this venture, just to bring it up on the field, very good for backstabs. Immediately going to be caught, goes off to the side of the point individually, like insane players. Knows the positioning and the tech, the micro. I mean, you're not being caught off by this. Like, look at that. Okay, Satoru Gojo falling down. They don't really play the we haven't really seen too much out of Satoru in terms of frontline attack out on the Reaper, but they always want to slot some players in. Devout alongside the rest of Cyber's roster, just going to be holding on to this bend. But already in a minute down, we have way more space being created. Caught off guard, though, out of position and bullied. Satoru's gonna slam you. And within a matter of seconds here, they have it past the bend.
Yeah, and that might just be it. I mean,
it is just it.
Very close. It's desperate, but yeah, just like that. 3-0 fashion, Penn Manor. They're gonna take your grand championship.
I mean, yeah, it's just super unlucky. Something that was said by the production staff earlier states implication for this last game is that this game specifically is that this puts, I believe, top 8 for if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but it should be top 8 for Penn Manor.
Yeah, they're 8th. Yep.
Yes, 8th, literally 8th seed. Okay, so they literally will be 8th seed and fall to 13th. So now they're 8th going into it. And top 8 go to LAN, right?
I believe so. I'm not quite 100% on that. I do think it differs for different games or different divisions. Not quite sure, but either way, you have to be happy with that. And I believe 8th seed still is enough to guarantee you a way into states. I think it's more, not less
Playoffs.
than that. So they should be good with that.
Hey, I digress. No stress for Penn Manor, but I do gotta stress to their flip side opponents of Reach Cyber. Unfortunate performance. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's just an unfortunate performance. There was a lot of micro decisions that I called out that were just really questionable on the side of the roster, and it is something that needs to be VOD reviewed, discussed, and talked about. But I'm not here to beat you guys down. Instead, I'm actually wanting you to take this as a lesson to learn and grow from it. For anyone that's a fan, for anyone that really gets involved in this game, you don't want to see competitors lose, right? You got to have that competitive spirit, and when you see mistakes like that, addressing them and moving forward is the best possible thing for the roster. So I will say, unfortunate performance here today, but the future still awaits you guys. You have a lot of growth potential, and when you're at your lowest, you can always soar the highest. So make sure to lock in, and honestly, making it into the grand finals to begin with is such a huge bonus with all of the chaos that's happening in this world. Keep that in mind and pat yourself on the back where you can. But with that, that's my piece set. Ari, anything else to add as a capstone before we send it to break?
I mean, it's Division 1, and you get 2nd place. You have to be happy with that. I don't know what the result was last time, but this is honestly a great showing in terms of statistics. So keep it up, and maybe next time you'll get number 1.
Hey, fair enough. With that, we're going to be taking a pause, and when we come back, we're going to have an interview for you guys, so stay tuned, stick out on the stream, and we're going to be talking to some pro gamers in just a little bit. See you soon.
Comes right off the backboard. A save needs to be made, but who's been the king of the skies, the one to have that dominant elevated play style? It's Will.
There hasn't been direct pressure on net until now, where Johnny2Techie puts the opening goal in.
Johnny2Techie with a name change as well. It was literally Johnny forever, but Johnny2Techie, he said he's leveling up.
Pass from Frosty to T-Stray to back to Frosty to T-Stray. It's this 1-2-1-2. Might be able to finish the run, sealing it down. Neon Neeks will get there before Frosty calls him off. And that's 4 in a row to get the lead in game 3.
And it's actually even better than any of the plays before. Neeks goes high for it, taps it down off the undercarriage of the car.
That's kind of why that's like that, but, you know, heading over to the Rocket League needs no introduction. It's Nitric, everybody.
That is dirty. What? Flip reset double tap? Are you
going on, but Clucky's complimenting it, but the Meg could still win it. A flick is on target, and the Meg takes the lead right back. Foretta win it after conceding with 4 seconds left. They scoop up the kickoff and take game 1.
My name's Luke Llama77 Williams. I go by Luke Williams in the sportscasting world and Llama77 in the esportscasting world. I work as a freelance esports and sports commentator for pretty much everything.
Buckeyes, though, have got a really fast squad pass right on in, and it's in! 1, 2, 3, how about me, they say?
For me, video games, I love the competitive aspect. I got to play 2 years of competitive Apex Legends for Ohio Northern University, so as much as I like to use it as a tool to escape, get some relaxation from regular life, I love ranked modes in most games I play too. I've been casting for about 4.5 years at this point. Back when I was playing Apex professionally, I would be a part of these different scrim servers. These companies didn't have anybody hosting their scrim, so I'd host them. You know what, I'd say give the players a little bit of casting as well to build up their own reels and build up my own casting reel as well. Playing was super fun. I mean, it was my actual way into college. I was denied from all 5 of the colleges I applied to and actually made it in on an esports scholarship to Ohio Northern after applying for the 3rd time. And I got to meet 2 teammates that would turn into lifelong friends. I got to go to 2 national championships with my Apex team and will forever just have those amazing memories of practicing and playing with them. I feel like casting for PIEA is really cool to just see the stories, where casting sports, it's a lot different. You're casting Division 1 athletes, everybody knows who they are, whereas PIEA, I mean, it's just students playing video games, and you get to tell their story, and just saying their name and seeing their energy at the LANs is super cool. I would say just have fun, live in the moment. It feels like every so often things are going to change in esports, and that can come more rapid than some would like. So just be ready for anything, and esports will throw everything at you, so try out everything new. Other than DPS Diff, Deserved will pick up the play of the game. It was early on this second map, and the ability to slice and dice through multiple members picked up that triple kill.
They all piled up in one spot, and Peanut Butter said that's absolutely perfect. Pops the ult and makes sure that even though United were kind of losing the fight there, they were able to use that ultimate to keep everybody off and just go from 99 to 100 without any contention. Really nice play of the game there from Inferno. Those deep.
Instantly, you can try to prevent them from coming back, but here comes the Riptire. Who's it get?
It gets almost everybody.
Most decisive victory I think we've seen on a control point so far today. Penn Trafford inspired by their success in the first capture to what could easily be argued with an otherwise.
So Leap goes up to the sky, doesn't have anyone look at him. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. You combine that with the fact that they I was going to say had some momentum going. Maybe they could grasp this point, but Angus instead just goes absolutely crazy with the ult.
this game works. You just click heads. You know, sometimes firepower plays a role in this, but Ventura even saying Juice WRLD, you got nothing right now. What is this opening? Ventura playing like Meso Soup, washes through 3 in the mid.
Up and available. The Bison can use that to try and engage if they want. Early guided salvo, swing to the right for Brady. It's good enough for the kill. Stuck with Strike Force, dipping out of the shadows. Brady gets their double, just winning duels, winning 1v1.
Guiding light in hand as well to at least delay the first initial push. Plus the stun comes in as well. That's disgusting. Simples finds 3.
A different way, it's just everybody everywhere. Magical's got the headshot, hiding inside the tube. He gets the 3, not Dryer gets the headshot, but Magical gets the 4K.
Grip in the hand has 2 players perfectly lined up.
Decay is online and you can't defend your teammate, but the shock dart might. That's a lot of damage. They're both low, and the shock dart isn't online. Yes.
However, we are 90 seconds in and nobody has yet to break the scoreboard.
90 seconds in, no, never mind. Dragon Boy gonna be the one to do it. You said it, you wished for it. Dragon Boy the one to make those dreams come true.
15 seconds, you may just score here, very close. An extra rebound, an extra bump on Anoka, but the touch still up. There's a dunk, and Noka takes it away. It was a little sketchy, but they still managed to get it done.
And LeBroni's actually the one who threw it back into...
Opportunity to close out the series here for Burrell. It's backs against the wall, but it's block A all day, baby. Just like that, Forest Hills will sweep the rug out from under them, and they'll close the series out.
Successful Loyd. Well, it seems like spirits are high. Spirits are very high. Because we're here with an interview. We have a trifecta on the desk here today. We're going to be starting off with some of these players. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. If you're tuning back in, my name is Nerds. I'm here with Ari. The players will introduce themselves. I see some stuff happening. I think we got to transition to this interview to get it started.
What's going on? What are you hinting at?
I'm hinting at this. We saw some shushes earlier, a couple seconds there. Who are we with? Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with here? Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Shunem. This is IJV, and this is the TM Loyd from Penn Manor Overwatch.
Oh man, Shunem. For those who don't know, what's it called? I just want to ask. Well, first, how are you feeling? And then I have a follow up after that.
Great, I'm feeling great.
That's lovely to hear. Follow up. For those who don't know, how'd you kind of get into Overwatch? Let's hear a little bit about your player. Just you as yourself.
I bought Overwatch at GameStop at the mall when I was like, I don't know, it was probably 2018 for my Xbox, and I don't know, I just played. I built a computer, I played on PC. That's been it, really. No crazy story.
Fair enough.
Overwatch 1 versus Overwatch 2. Which do you prefer? Like let's give it to us this way.
Oh my god.
Overwatch 2.
Really?
Ooh.
Not even close.
Really?
That's
If you want to play
interesting.
6v6 slot, you can play Marvel Rivals.
Yeah! Wow, that's great. What a statement! Well, you've got to feel really good about that. You guys are making top 8, I believe, in states. How you feeling? Looking forward into it.
We're feeling great. We're feeling very confident. You can look just, I mean, look at how he's standing right there holding that. It's like that championship plaque was meant for his hands, you know? Like, never seen
Ooh.
someone so confident before. You know, sometimes the ego gets a little bit out of there, but see,
Okay.
you know, you
He's
can't talk
yapping.
about
He's
it.
okay. Speaking of which, let's pass the mic on over to the player in the
Yeah, yeah.
back. Let them
Let's see
introduce themselves.
IJV.
Let the IGV. I always like the players introduce themselves. I gotta hear the full on.
Right. I'm gonna take this chair since he's.
Well, let's get you in the frame. Let's get you move a little bit over.
Yeah, am I good? Am I good? All right.
Yeah. We're good. We're good.
All right.
So introduce yourself and how you feeling.
I am IJV.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Feeling confident.
I love the confidence. Love to hear that. What's it called? That game was very much unfortunate, like a rough start. Did the rough start ever, you're the captain, right? So did the rough start ever like spook you a little bit of like, okay,
No.
what they might whoa, immediate answer.
No, we are very confident with our team. We have practiced a lot. We coordinate as a team. We're always confident. Shoot him a little too much, but he's
Talk about that.
he's an egoist. He through and through.
Does that ever become hard to manage as a captain? Let's dive into it a bit more then.
No, it's not. He's just how he is. It's more just keeping him from wanting it too much in games.
Okay.
Even today.
Oh, even today. How so even today?
Yeah. One to lock Torb, and which we had a previous game where he locked Torb and hammered the enemy team, and our coach was not very happy with us. He was not happy at all. So we don't do that anymore.
Take the 1v1 against the Reinhardt with the hammer battle.
He killed the entire team with the hammer. It was bad.
Oh wait, so he succeeded.
Yes, he succeeded.
Wait, how is that
It's just too ego.
Oh,
Trying
you
to
gotta
play-
have some
play respectful.
sportsmanship.
I hate you.
I love the banter. I love the banter.
Yeah, our team's full of it.
How did you fall into the captain role then? Because I mean, we're seeing like all the banter. Was it just you were the member on the crew?
No, we wanted someone with. Actually, we didn't get to pick. I'm gonna be honest. Our coach decided who the captain was for us. Our previous captain graduated last year. So
True
now
egoist needs to
he's
be in
decided
frame.
for us. Yep, there he is. But our coach decided for us who the captain was after our previous graduated. And it was between me, Shunam, and our other player, Night Pika, because we were there the longest. We had the most knowledge of everything.
It's a good question, I guess, that we can ask the coach then, right?
Oh.
Yeah, he's ready.
Oh, the coach is
You want him
the
now?
coach is just admiring
Yeah,
the
here you go.
plaque. I love that we're just seeing the coach just straight admiring the plaque, like, oh the plaque.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. Well, but introduce yourself and how you're feeling.
Yeah, my name's Tyler Loyd. I am the coach for the Penn Manor esports team. I feel fantastic, really happy, proud of these students and what they've achieved and accomplished, and excited about what we're going to be doing in May in the state finals.
Okay. Let's dive into the state finals a bit more then. What are you guys doing to prepare? What's it looking like on the back end?
We practice pretty consistently, but if I'm going to be honest, any success that this team has can really be credited to their work ethic. They are scrimming regularly every week, sometimes multiple times per week, against teams that aren't just in the PIEA, but that play at really high levels. They're always seeking out opportunities to improve. They work with our alumni. Our captain just mentioned that we've had several students who've graduated, who played on the team previously. They continue to coach and train our students as well. And they can be pretty harsh at times. Shout out to Steele there. And I think that any success that they have can really be credited to the culture and community that they built over the past several years. One where they just want to excel. They want to be the best, and they want everyone to know it, and they want to prove it every single year, like they plan to this year.
We asked IJV about how did they get to be captain, and they said that you'd picked. So, do you have any reasoning for why particularly?
Yeah, he's the sanest one. So if you haven't picked up on it, Shunam is full of himself. and a little wild and crazy. I mean, his dad's out here just running across the floor on a
Can we get a
wheelchair.
dad interview?
Do you want to interview his father? Because he will gladly get on here. But I'm going to tell you right now, we do not take any responsibility as an organization for things that Shuna's father says. But
I think we'll keep
you
that.
meet
I'll
his
keep
dad
that.
and everything.
Keep that off
Yeah.
the air for now.
Please. But you meet his father and everything clicks in place. So Seth is very skilled. Shunim is very skilled. He's very talented. He's very driven. He works hard at everything that he does, whether it's esports, NHS, anything of that nature. But he's also all about, he's very focused on excellence for himself. He's all about that competitive drive to win. And being a team captain is more than that. It's also about recognizing that you're part of a team. You have to take care of it. You have to nurture it. There's a maturity and responsibility that's necessary there that's not just focused on yourself. And IJV has consistently demonstrated an intelligence and awareness of the big picture. And understanding kind of where I'm coming from as the coach when I'm looking not just at the team, say today, but the team next year, the year after that. So he has a maturity, intelligence that's really lent itself to.
A lot of warm words about students and whatnot. Just I love that you have this passion for yourself. As you know, coach of this program, have there ever been any particular challenges that, when overcome, have developed the team to get to this point? Like specifically this year, not like over the course of multiple years challenges, but for this year. If you could go into any details about that, just so we can know about the back end.
Oh, IJV mentioned that we lost two players. They graduated this past year, and that was Tech and Steel. And if you look back at our previous championships and the games that we've won, those are two critical players for us, our main tank and our main healer. They were very intelligent and hardworking people. And quite frankly, it was a blow to the program when we lost them. And this is high school sports in general, right? You watch these young people grow up and develop, and they reach sort of this height, and then they're gone. And you have to start over. And so this year has been about finding fresh talent. So, when I talk about that, I'm talking about Zebra Girl, which is one of our support players. She's a freshman. You
Ooh.
saw her playing most of the match. I'm talking about Sig, who is a new player for the program. She is a senior, unfortunately, so we won't have her after this year, but she was new to the program this year. We're talking about Big Jiffer, who returned to the program in the DPS slot to help really cover some of the gaps that were forming in the team as a result. And we're talking about S-Man, who previously played on our JV team last year as a freshman. He's a sophomore now. And again, like, these are players who, quite frankly, when they started, they had a lot to learn. And the most impressive thing to me about them is just how quickly they've learned. If you look at S-Man's first games last year in our JV league, this is not the player that he was. He takes on every challenge, every request that the team has, and he tries his best at it. Same goes for Zebra Girl. If you look at the early games of her on support last season in the fall, they were a little rough, and the team said, we need this from her, and she delivered. So I think that that's the kind of challenge you face in high school sports in general, in esports programs at the high school level, even at the college level. There's turnover, and it's all about recognizing what can new players bring to the table and how can they develop and learn and grow with the existing culture and team. Because the other issue here being, Shunim and IJV and our tank player, they've all played together for a long time. They have their own kind of lingo, their way of doing things, and it's been about melding these two different groups of people together to form a new team this season that plays differently and works differently than it has for the past few years.
Yeah, I think the team dynamic and culture is super important, and hopefully that this victory builds on that for when it comes time in May and you guys make it. Huge congratulations to you guys. Before we head on off, do you have anything you want to shout out for your program, for yourself, all that fun jazz, for people to kind of latch on to, people, anyone at home, anything like that?
Shout out to all the parents who are watching right now. We really love the support that you show your kids. It's fantastic. I love that you're doing that. Any other members of the Penn Manor esports community, whether it's League of Legends, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, the Rocket League team that just won their championship this morning, guys, thank you so much for watching and supporting us, and we'll see you back at the school.
Ooh, yippee! Well, huge congrats. Thank you so much for hopping on the mic, and For that, we're gonna be transitioning over. One sidebar note: it's very funny
And
to
Manor
have.
3-peat 2025. Catch us.
Oh my gosh. Shoot him. I was just about to say, it's really funny because while we were interviewing you, Shoot him just keeps popping in the background. And now Shoot him,
Yeah.
true egoist, true starlight, needs to be back in the attention.
He does. Yes, he does. When I told him we might sub him out at some point today, he was super happy about it. He baby rage.
He was like, yeah, maybe. We'll see how the games go. I love that.
Yeah.
But I mean, huge congrats to you guys, to Shoot him, to everyone in the background. And I just want to give one shout out. I'm really happy to hear that you guys are injecting a lot of the, what's it called? The player, like co-ed, right? The co-ed element of it, something that didn't get touched up on. But I'm happy, right? That it's just like a normal thing to just have that co-ed element within this. Esports is one of those things that it's for everyone. And I appreciate that as well. So good luck to all of you as a team, and we'll see you guys in May. Cheers.
Thank you so much. See you then.
Well, I think we're going to be wrapping up interview. We're going to be sending it to a break. And when we come back from this break, we have some more Valorant action, swapping over from Overwatch to Valorant. So we'll see you guys with some Valorant action there. Ari, do you have info? Wait, before we break, do you have the info on the games and the teams?
I mean, we have what it's listed as. And what it says is it's D2 Penn Valorant, Bayard Rustin versus Mythacton, 1 seed versus 4 seed in the grand final, best of 3, of course. But who knows? Maybe schedules get changed. Hopefully they don't. But that's the plan for right now, and hopefully we can stick to that plan as we continue the day, right?
Yeah, hopefully we can. But with that, we're gonna be taking a break, and when we're back, we'll be back with some Valorant action. We'll see you guys then.